trying harder actually makes it worse. Hey everybody, my name is Ryan Justin Jackson. I've spent 19 years in corporate communications working for companies like Disney, Warner Media, AT&T. I've also been on air doing entertainment news broadcasted in 162 markets across the United States. And through all of that, I've come to the conclusion that trying harder actually makes it worse. There's an area in my life where I can feel that sense of trying harder. And the thing is, I don't even really know what it is. That's the crazy part. I just have this sense that I need to get better, that I need to do more, that it's not working the way I want it to work. And maybe you have that in your life. Maybe it's something around parenting or relationships, or you too want to get better at your public speaking. But you have this sense that it's not exactly going the way you want it to go. And actually trying harder is making it worse. Here's what I've learned. Most of us have been told that we need to continue to grow, evolve, learn. And so we take courses, we read books, we have conversations with gurus, all in this effort to change and grow, and it never happens. Or if it does, then we're worse off than we were before because we have this anxiety around it. And that's the unspoken truth about this path of self-improvement that many people push on us. It's not the cost of money or time that is the biggest detriment. It's often the underlining message that we're not enough as we are now. And here's the kicker, you're gonna grow anyway. You're gonna evolve and change, just like a toddler will never always be a toddler. Eventually you will grow into a child, into a teen, into adult. That is just the path of being human on this planet, so you will grow. The question is, are you gonna grow from a state of joy and positivity and appreciation? Or are you going to grow from the state of anxiety and worry and the shame underneath that you're not exactly where you want to be? Here's what I mean. Imagine two people walk into a meeting room and they have to give a presentation. One gives the presentation from a sense of, okay, I'm here to do the best that I can do. If it goes wrong, if it goes right, doesn't matter. Either way, I'm going to grow and learn. The second person, in contrast, give this talk, this speech from a state of anxiety. They're afraid that they won't show up the way they want to show up. They're afraid they'll make a mistake. They're afraid that the people in the room will judge them. Two people, two different responses. And the reality is that the people whom you're talking to can feel it. When people walk in with anxiety, anxiousness, concern, it shows up in the way they communicate. But if you're here present, alive, and just trusting the moment, people can feel that from you and they gravitate to an energy like that. Researchers have a name for this. Two psychologists, last name Deci and Ryan, they studied motivation for years, and they found that there's two different types of motivation. One is called autonomous motivation. That is motivation fueled by growth, curiosity, passion. You're doing it because you want to learn. You're excited about what it could potentially mean for you. And the other is controlled motivation, and that's motivation by guilt and shame and this idea that you're not enough and that if you don't do this, then something bad will happen to you. And here's what the research showed, that the people who operated under controlled motivation, that they worked just as hard, if not harder, than those who operated with autonomous motivation, but they performed worse. Two different approaches, same amount of effort, but two different results, which proves that it's not necessarily the work that we do, but it's the motivation, it's the place from which we do that work that makes the difference. So you will grow either way. The question isn't whether you'll grow. The question is, from which place will you grow? What is the starting point? Because the starting point determines what kind of person you'll be along the way. Here's where this hits the rooms that matter. Imagine your next gig where you have to speak, the next presentation, the next difficult conversation. And imagine coming into that from a place of worry. Oh, something will go wrong. I have to fix or improve something about myself. I need to change something in order for this conversation to go the way that I think it needs to go. Contrast that with walking into the conversation or the meeting or the presentation with knowing that you're enough. You're not perfect, but you're enough as you are right here, right now. Imagine the impact that will have not only on yourself, but the room around you when you walk in with this powerful presence, knowing that you're enough. Think about the energy of those two different individuals and think about the impact that they'll have on the room. I'm sure you can imagine that it'll be measurably different. And so the question is, from which place are you walking into the room? Because that determines your impact. So here's what I'm inviting you to try. The next time you walk into a room and you think you have to fix or change something about yourself, ask yourself the question, am I running towards something? Am I running away from something? If you're running towards something, an exciting opportunity, a presentation, something that you want to share, have impact, then keep doing that. But if you notice that you're running away from something, an aspect of yourself that you feel like you have to protect, just stop and notice it. Don't try to change it. Don't try to make it be something other than what it is. Just notice it. Notice it operating. Allow it to be, and then let it go. Realize that you don't have to hold on to it, don't have to care for it, don't have to give it credence. And when you realize that you have the power to let it go and that it's only holding you back, that it's not helping you, you can move from a more powerful place of presence when you enter a room and when you speak. And you feel a sense of worthiness as you are, not because you did something to become worthy, but because you realize that you are and you exist, and that's enough, and it has to be enough because that's all you have in this moment. Stop trying to fix yourself to become someone who's worthy of the room. Know that you already are worthy and walk into the room sharing your worthiness. If this resonated with you, please like and subscribe. I share videos like this weekly on finding your voice and showing up with presence in every single moment. Also, I have a newsletter on presence and performance that you can find in my bio, and I dive deeper on these topics, and we really explore what it takes to show up as your authentic self, and we get into the tools on how to do that. Finally, if you need help with your specific situation, feel free to reach out to me. The link in my bio for one-on-one coaching where I can dive deeper into what's happening with you, and we can work on some tools and techniques to really get you over the hump and have you showing up with presence in every single moment. Thanks for listening. Talk to you soon.